Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another day, another episode of 30NSG. On today's show, we're going to be covering Epic acknowledges that it's easier to die in Fortnite's free cars than it is in the paid ones. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about rumor Xbox to shadow drop a game and tease portable at showcase. And then we're also going to talk about YouTube insider access tied to massive leaks. If you like what I do here, I do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We go over news articles, have conversations with chat, go back and forth. It's real chill. It's like almost like sitting in someone's house and forth about different topics and things that we like in gaming, entertainment news, and other random things throughout the morning. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Appreciate it very much. What's going on, Travis? What's going on, Eclipse? What's going on, Stealth? Lurker? Water Bear, good morning. Eclipse, good morning, good morning. What's going on, Drummond? How's everyone doing? Why does it sound like my music's super loud on my end? That's better. I'm doing better. I gotta make a doctor's appointment today. Gotta make a doctor's appointment because I still have this like lingering cough in my chest. So I gotta make a doctor's appointment because my wife told me to. You know, it is what it is. It's a slow news day because we got the game show coming up into this week, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Lots of stuff going to happen. Next week's going to be full of what games we saw, what we liked, what we didn't like, all that stuff. But as of right now, it's pretty slow. Got a couple of news stories. Nothing too amazing here. Summer Game Fest starts, what is it, the 6th? You're going to cover it? We're going to be covering it all. Summer Game Fest, let me bring it up here so I know the exact times. Let me bring up the website here. All right, so it starts the 7th. June 7th, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern is the Summer Game Fest showcase. It's a 2-hour show. So we'll watch that. That starts at 5 p.m. Then on the 7th, it says Days of the Devs. It says in-depth new independent games and reveals. That's from 7 p.m. and that'll go till probably 8 or 9. Well, probably go to 8. And then developer annual game showcase. Devolver Direct is at 8 p.m. Eastern on the 7th as well. So from 5 to 9, basically, we're going to be covering just what's happening live on the showcase. We'll watch it here. And then June 8th at 11 a.m., Future of Play Direct. I don't know what that is. It says a harmless showcase that's fun for the whole family. So probably a lot of little things we probably either already saw or like family fun type of games. 12 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. We have an indie showcase celebrating emotional Renaissance video games inspired by optimism, joy, and retrospect. That's probably going to be a crappy one. There's the Latin one at 1 p.m. on June 8th. And then at 2:30, there is women-led games, which we probably won't cover those two events. Then the Future Game Show is at 3 p.m. on Saturday. And then on June 9th, from 1 p.m., 4 p.m., 1 p.m. and 4 p.m., yeah. We have the Xbox Showcase and the PC Gamers Showcase on Sunday, and then June 10th at 3 p.m. we have Ubisoft Forward. So, lots and lots of stuff to cover. Come on, Super Dave. Come on, Ron. Do doctors require a PSN account to be seen? Sort of. It's not PSN's account, but you have to make an account to be seen. That's for sure. I did my dailies this morning, Eclipse. That's a slow burn, dude. That's a slow burn. I'm doing it just to see I'm doing it as a content creator. Like every day I'll log in, do my dailies, play a little bit, and kind of give like a casual, like down the road, like a month from now, when I hit, be like, okay, well, I've played this long and this is how it is, so I can talk about it, you know, firsthand. But man, it's a grind right now. And it's supposed to be season long. I get that, right? I get it's supposed to be season long. And then I stopped, well, not stopped, but I've slowed down because I've already hit the max for Fallout 76. So I haven't been logging in every day and doing all my dailies. I didn't even do all my weeklies this week. But I've been doing it here and there, but I'm already maxed out. So I'm kind of taking it easy. I don't want to burn myself out before the new update comes out for Fallout 76. Xbox by far has the biggest show. I would say that, or PC gamer show is usually pretty big. A lot of stuff for that. No, probably like developers, lead developers, I would think, Travis. Now we wait for the standard Ron Foam Stars joke. Where is it? Yeah. Super Dave says, I'm addicted to multiverses. I mean, I would like to play it, but the internet doesn't want me to play it. They're having like massive issues with like Xbox as far as like, I don't know if it's netcode or what. I'm having problems connecting to like PvP matches in a PvP game. So, and then I thought it was my network because last night we were playing a Hypercharge Unbox. Okay, and I was trying to join servers there as well, and it had a problem. So then I said, all right, well, let me join another game for multiplayer. I turned on Battlefield, and it went in just fine. There's no network codes or no network errors or anything like that. Because I thought it was my box. I thought it was my router or, my internet, and it wasn't. So I was like, okay, so Multiverse is having issues. Hypercharge Unbox doesn't make sense because it's brand new. It's having issues. Today is the day that we started hearing reviews and stuff for the Acolyte, which not looking good for people that still had some hope for Star Wars fans. So that's happening. We're going to start off with the epic Fortnite. This article is not very big, but we're going to talk about it. I don't even know what it totally is, but it says it's a pay-to-win situation. So let's talk about the Fortnite incident going on right now. Again, I haven't played Fortnite in a couple of weeks. I haven't played Fortnite itself. I played the Lego Fortnite a couple of weeks ago. Fortnite itself, I haven't played in about a month or so, 2 months. So the first story we're going to talk about, and just from the title alone, it kind of make... Oh, I forgot to change... Let me change this real fast. I forgot to change the daily banner. Give me 1 second. There we go. All right. So, to put this in perspective, right? We look at certain games. We listened to a video a couple of weeks ago or a month ago about Force Gaming was talking about how, I think it was NetEase, or I forget what company was doing this, but basically what they were doing was they were making the percentages of things so minute that you would never ever win the product, right? That in the microtransaction store. Now, this is not that, but from this title, it says Epic acknowledges that it's easier to die in a Fortnite's free cars than it is paid ones. Okay. And this right here kind of shines a light on what gaming is. Okay. It's not about, and this is before I'm even reading the article. I haven't read the article yet, just off the title. Okay. Basically what this is saying is that this is happening in not only this game, and the only reason they're seeing it or saying it now is because they were caught. Okay. companies are trying to drive you towards that microtransaction, okay, than it is to the regular car, okay? And this is the problem with a lot of games nowadays. So if you like what I do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We cover news stories, have conversations, go back and forth with chat. So Epic acknowledges that it's easier to die in Fortnite's free cars than it is paid ones. And the company says it will fix what is currently a pay-to-win situation. Well, why is this situation even here to begin with? Because did you not test your game? Did you not see that this was actually happening? They designed the game. They would have to know, wouldn't they? So it says Epic Games acknowledges and disparity of the newly released cars, which has created a pay-to-win situation. So as demonstrated on TikTok by Nikki30, a number of free cars in Fortnite, which can be found in the base free-to-play game, unlocked without spending money, make it easier for the drivers to be killed than someone in a paid car. That doesn't seem weird at all, huh? So in a video, Nika30 shows that the Whiplash car, which is a free in the game, is a large windscreen, which means the players can enter the passenger seat off the car. Okay, of the car, lean out the window and kill a driver by shooting through the windscreen. Then he demonstrates with a number of other free cars, including the Werewolf, the Scorpion, and also jumping into the passenger side, each killing their drivers by shooting through the windscreen. Now, however, he then enters the passenger side for the Samurai car, and which only can be required with real money, and shows that this much smaller windscreen makes it harder to see the driver, let alone kill them. He says, while it's still possible to hit your opponent sometimes, it's way more difficult than it is to pay to lose cars, he says. So let's check out this.
4 red cars are pay to lose. This Whiplash is a car that people have by default. As you see, you can kill the opponent very easily. Can I get a volunteer to enter in our green pay to win cars? This one right here. I am not able to hit him. So while it's still possible to hit your opponent sometimes, it's way more difficult than these pay to lose cars. That includes the default Whiplash. That includes the Werewolf. So this is the Werewolf right here. It's a lot easier to kill your opponent. Can I get another one in this one? The Scorpion, as you see right there. And now in the Mass-Mune, the windshield is very, very big.
I have a question.
You do not want to be driving in Fortnite. Every single other one is approved by the A-team.
I have a question though. In the scenario that he's showing, why would I be leaning out the window? And I'm truly asking, why would I be leaning out the window to shoot my own guy in the car, right? Or is it someone jumps on the car and they can shoot? Because you can shoot everyone through the windscreen. I'm a little confused by that. Discrepancy between the windscreen sizes technically created by a pay-to-win situation, something Epic has said would never be a case in Fortnite. As such, the company provided a statement to Kotaku saying he knew about the problem and was looking into the solution. He says, quote, "We're aware of the issue and we have fixed plans for upcoming builds," and the company said. It's not yet clear if this means the windscreens will be changed entirely or if some other changes will be implemented to make it easier to kill drivers in paid cars or harder to kill drivers in the free ones. So I'm a little confused, though, on the way he's showing. Okay, again, because the way he's showing the stuff. Oh, this is a different video. The way he's showing the stuff is a little weird because why would you be in the car trying to shoot the people that were in your car? Again, maybe one of you guys in chat can explain it to me. I'm a little confused by it, but this is just one little case scenario of designing something that's better to be paid for than it is for free, right? And again, this comes down to pieces of armor, things that you can earn in the game compared to things that you have to pay for in the game, because people that paid for the game want to be able to earn the stuff in the game and then also kind of feel justified by getting that. But at the same time, people that paid for something, they want to get the game where they want that game to feel like what they're spending their money on is also worth the value of it. So it's a little weird on how stuff is happening, in gaming nowadays with paid or free stuff. Now, as far as the advantage of the windscreen, I thought when people were shooting through, based off the article's topic, I thought maybe the windshield was like smaller. So when you're shooting at someone in front of the car that's driving towards you, that you couldn't kill them. But the way he was showing it is that I guess if you're shooting above, you can hit the person, but you can't hit the person in a paid car compared to the free car. Not too sure. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Is this a big deal? Is this not a big deal? Obviously, Fortnite knows about it now, or Epic knows about it. They're going to fix it. But do you think that if no one said anything, they would have just kept it going and they knew about it? Let me know in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe. If you like what I do here, please make sure you share. Please make sure you check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I'm a little confused on that. All right, let me put this back on. Hold on one second. I'm going to change my lighting a little bit here. So my eyes don't have such dark circles underneath them. I mean, I have dark circles. I'm definitely tired. Kylo says, "God, I hate Fortnite." I saw a post from Paul Tassi this morning. He said that this is... Hold on, let me just bring it up. Let me see. Was it Paul? Paul Tassi wrote or made a post this morning. He says that this is a little odd. He said, wow, this is... How many hours ago is this? This is from 8:44 a.m., so about almost 2 hours ago. He says, wow, Destiny 2 only has 8,000 player hour, or 8,000 hours before final shape. Or, I'm sorry, 8,000 players, hours before final shape launch. So maybe the hype's not there at all. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'll be honest, I'm not excited for it. What's going on first? Will there be a game demonstration next week? Will there be game demonstrations next week? Game demonstrations. Oh, from after the Summer Game Fest? Is that what you're asking? It's when you're playing solo and people jump. Oh, okay. Thank you, Eclipse. So it's when you're playing solo and people jump into your car and then they can kill you. Got it. Got it. The fact that someone can jump into your car when you're playing solo is kind of ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, wouldn't that be easy to fix? Just make it where if you're playing solo, only one person can enter the car? They did a 25-hour downtime, that's why. So it's not even up yet. Is that what you're saying? So what are the 8,000 people doing? If the servers were down, were 8,000 people just sitting in space? Like, what was happening there? Jack says it's been a problem. They never addressed it until now. Interesting. So it's been here forever. They just started addressing it now because this update for Fortnite is based on cars. Trying to beat the queue time. Interesting. When's Elden Ring's DLC come out? There's some hands-on reports coming out already. Let's see here. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. $33.95. That's not bad. On Steam for the update. Game Pass to require PSN account. Is this real? Is this real? Hold on a second. Let me see. I just saw this in the pop. Hard Drive is reporting this. Microsoft announced on Monday that the premium game subscription Xbox Game Pass will require a PSN account to log in. This has got to be fake, right? Is Hard Drive a satire site? Hold on here. Yeah, it's a satire? Okay. That's what I figured. I was like, I've never heard of Hard Drive. Sounds legit to me. Well, it sounds like Ron Slusher wrote the article with all the jokes of PSN accounts always. One that they need to fix in multiverses with the rifts, make it where you can do a loadout for your gems. I'm getting tired of switching them every time I pick a new rift. Oh yeah, so the weird part about that, Eclipse, there's so many things. Actually, I have an article about multiverses. IGN wrote, devs bringing back some of the missing features. I'm so baffled by. One of the developers came out and talked about multiverses and said that they had a bunch of stuff and they had to fix the netcode and they had to fix the stuff because they switched from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5. And my thing is, if you switch from Unreal Engine 4 to 5, why didn't you fix this stuff before it came out? Why did you remove things and then go, oh, you know what, we'll add it back later? That's my problem with what Player One, what are they called? Player One games? What they've done. Did you hear that Suicide Squad's devs weekly updates are canceled? It's not canceled. They're just not doing it daily. They're not doing daily ones anymore, right? They haven't canceled them. They're just not doing them daily. Their weekly blogs are not. They're not going to be weekly anymore. They're going to be like when they have something to announce, right? And that's 100% Anthem flashbacks and Marvel's flashbacks as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Let me go to their site for a second. Let's see here. Let's read it together, shall we? So now that episode 2 is out, you're all out of smashing out Metropolis. We wanted to take a moment to highlight our favorite content creator. We don't care about that stuff. Game mode, Nexus screen. Let's see. Okay, so now that both episodes for season 1 are in the hands of the developers, updates will change from a weekly to releasing them when we have big news to share about the future content. We hope this will make a release each new update exciting event. Yeah, so this is normal, right? I've said this for years. If you have nothing to say, shut up, right? If you have nothing to say, shut up. Only speak when you actually have stuff to do, because what's going to happen if they didn't do this? Every week they come out and they're like, okay, we have new skins coming to the cosmetic store. I was like, dude, what about these fixes? What about this problem? What about this? And they're like, oh, they're not saying anything. That's the problem. Every week they come out with something and yet nothing's said, right? Marvel's Avengers did this and it was horrible. Horrible. They had a live show, which is even worse, right? Marvel's Avengers had a live show and the developers had to sit there for 45 to an hour. And people would ask questions. Is this coming to the game? We'll check on that. We'll check on that. We'll let you know about that. Well, they weren't telling us anything. Like nothing. They were telling us literally zero. It seems like they're slowly trying to sneak away. I don't think so. That's not the way I feel, Stealth. I would 100% rather have nothing until something is actually together than every week come out and tell us something and there's nothing in that update. Sounds like Fireteam chat on IGN. They need to increase the inventory space. I mean, I literally said that before the game even came out. We had 300 spots, and I said, well, every time they update a character, they should put an additional 50 slots to 100 slots in. Right? It makes no sense. Like, how do you not see that? As a developer. How do you not see that and go, oh, well, we're going to run out of room? They still do that show? Do they still do Fireteam chat? They don't, right? I haven't. Why'd they stop it if they don't? Right, skin inventory is unlimited though. That's right. Come on, Sin. I never understood this, PL. In all games, Destiny, Division, any game that has guns or loot or anything like Diablo, it's like you have an item, right? And it's a picture of something. Okay. Now, I would love a developer to explain this to me. Why this picture can have 9,999 things for this item. Okay, one picture with a number of 9,999. But yet, this weapon, which is also one picture, can only have one slot, right? And then if there's a second gun, it has to take a separate slot open, right? You can't have like two of those guns or whatnot, right? Or certain resources can only have like 10, or other resources can only have 99. And it's like, I don't understand. I've never understood this, okay? Where certain things, because they don't want you to get certain ones. I mean, I understand from a developing standpoint of why they do it, because if this orb isn't a rare orb, they don't want you to have too many, because then you can just, when the next content comes in, you can just purchase whatever it is and then move on, okay? But I've never understood why they put a limit on certain things. Now, Fallout 76 actually does it pretty well, but they do it in the paid format with, same with Elder Scrolls Online, unlimited backpack, right? Unlimited backpack. Fallout First has an emblem or an item, the junk drawer, where you can just throw as much stuff as you want in there, right? That's fine, okay? But anything else other than, they're like, nope, can't give unlimited stuff. We have to have a limit. Lurker says all the guns have random stats. A skin is a skin, cost less. Yeah, maybe my example was a little bad, Lurker, but what I'm talking about is if it's the same weapon, right? Not stat, just take weapons out of it. If it's a resource, right? If it's a resource or a piece of junk or something that you have to collect and it goes into your storage or into your backpack, okay? There's no stat. It's just what it is. And then that specific item can only be stacked 10 times, where another item could be stacked 100 times, where another item could be stacked 1,000 times. There's no rhyme or reason behind it. You're absolutely right about the stats for the weapons, and this is why they can't do that. Cool. Okay, but even then, why is there a limit for what I can put in my storage? For instance, like Destiny, why can I only have 300 weapons? Mobile games make you pay, expand your inventory, Scummy? Right, it works fine as long as they charge you for it. Bell says, Fran Malabella left and got bored of Destiny. Ah. So why couldn't they just replace him? Didn't everybody else still play Destiny? I just find it weird. That's all. You're absolutely right about the example I said about the weapons, right? Stats, each one's different, so yeah. Juan says, Helldivers 2 is the new Destiny. Is it? Is it? All right, let's go to the next story. It looks like it's another short one. Looks like it's another short one. If you guys like what I do here, I do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning to noon Eastern. We just cover news stories, have conversations with chat. Little go back and forth. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. All right, so rumor, Xbox to shadow drop game and tease portable at showcase. I don't know. Do you think they're going to tease the portal? Let's read and find out, right? So again, this is just a rumor. Take it with a grain of salt. Okay. It says a new video from noted Xbox leaker XTAS1 has claimed that Xbox is set to shadow drop a game and tease the Xbox Portal console at this weekend's showcase. Okay. He goes on and says, in a Reddit post by user SkyOld5788, it has translated into videos XTAS1's post in which he says, quote, he can confirm that one of Xbox first-party titles everyone expects to see, like Flight Simulator, Avowed, Diablo DLC, and Starfield DLC, and Toborn, etc., will be shadow dropped at this event. While he knows which one it is, he's not revealing it, and I'm guessing it's Toborn, but we'll see. Okay. I would have to say, do we think it's Avowed? I thought Avowed already had a release date, did not? So you can't really shadow drop that. Diablo's DLC won't drop because they literally just started the 4th season. So I don't think they would drop the DLC in the middle of a season. I don't think that's going to happen either. I can see the Starfield Shattered Space shadow dropping at the event. That's for sure. I could see that happening, but we'll see. Towerborn actually could be as well. I don't know why I said Toborn before. Towerborn, I think, is also potential for that as well. Continuing here, it says Xbox will make a teaser about the new Xbox Portal on the showcase that confirms the existence of it for the general public. Interesting. Okay. Now, I wonder if they come out and they tease the Portal and the Portal's actually their own system, or if they're teaming up with someone that's doing it. Okay. Of those titles listed, the Reddit threads surmise that Towerborn makes the most sense. The Xbox Portal has long been rumored and potentially armed powered device. XTAS1 also recently leaked that things such as Lords of the Fallen coming to Game Pass, which it is now, has, as well as the potential of digital Xbox Series X, which has yet to be seen. Now, the Xbox Game Showcase and Black Ops 6 Direct will air on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern. You can watch it co-stream alongside us here at Xbox Era or right here at 30NSG on the YouTube channel. This year's event is shaping up to have a lot of exciting looking games, including looks at the confirmed 2024 releases such as Avowed, Towerborn, Indiana Jones, games like Fable, Perfect Dark, South of Midnight, and more, feeling like the show up as well. So what game do you guys think is going to do the shadow drop? Okay. Do you think it's going to be a game that's not listed on here, like Flight Sim, Avowed, Diablo's DLC, Starfield's DLC, or Towerborn? Which one do you think will be shadow dropped? I kind of think it would be Shattered Space, personally. I think that Bethesda comes out and says, here it is, you can play it today, right? I think that's just something that they could do. Other than that, I don't see like them announcing like Gears, the next Gears of War, and then all of a sudden it drops out of nowhere. Probably not. But it's one of these, right? He expects to see, he can confirm it's one of the first party titles everyone's expected to see. Now, again, a shadow drop, technically it's not really a shadow drop, right? Because we already know about these games. A shadow drop was like what High Five Rush was. We knew nothing of it, and then all of a sudden they announced the game and said, here it is. We already know about Flight Sim. We already know about Avowed and Diablo's DLC and Shattered Space and Towerborn. We already know these. Now, I guess it's a shadow release because they didn't make the actual dates yet, but we'll see when that happens. Let me know in the comment section down below, which one do you think it's going to be this Sunday that they announce, if it's one of these games. Do you think it's Flight Sim? Do you think it's Avowed, Diablo DLC, Starfield DLC, or Towerborn? Or do you think it's another game that has yet to be seen? Let me know in the comment section down below. And what do you think about the Portal? Do you think they're going to come out and actually show this handheld device that everyone's been talking about? And what is that going to do to the gaming space? Let me know in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and if you like what I do here, make sure you check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. Flight Sim is waiting for next version. I mean, when we first started playing Flight Sim, I was like, man, it's really fun. I like doing it, but it gets boring really fast because there's no mission. There's only achievements and stuff. It's like fly 100 miles, land on this airport. I want some sort of meaning inside the Flight Sim. And now they have this Flight Sim 2024 coming out, which seems like more mission-based, quest-based, whatever you want to call it. And I feel like that's going to be a little bit better. Just checked Anthem, Marvel Avengers, and Suicide Squad have 5 sad viewers each on Twitch. I mean, you know, they like what they like. Flight Simulator waiting for the next version. Shadow Drop will probably be something unexpected. It will hype the big expense stuff, surely. Ron says the Shadow Drop game has been confirmed as Foam Stars. It also would be cool to be announced Gears 6 and Gears Remastered. Now, I could see them shadow dropping stuff like that for sure, right? I could see that for sure. It'll drop okay for the Dreamcast. Travis says, here's the bigger question. Will they have the fixed Fable, or will they continue to look at it as spitting in the face of what made the originals good? I mean, the people that are making it, or the people that Playground Games that made Forza Horizon, and I think they have a really good game. I love Forza Horizon. Can that company make a RPG, action RPG? I don't know. As long as they stick to what Fable was, I think they'll be okay. I mean, we always got to make characters. Hopefully that character is not what the character they showed. Bumblepan says, I thought Xbox Portal was rumored for 26, 27. Surely it's too early to talk about it. I mean, they could tease it, right? They could tease it, Bumblepants. I mean, to say that the rumor for 26, 27, who knows, right? Rumors are rumors until they. This is why we don't go with rumors and as facts. Okay, people that are saying that the Portal exists, and then the people that are saying that it comes out 2026, 2027, who's to say when they come out with it until they announce it? Don't shadow drop Towerborn. We haven't even seen much or heard about it. Man, the day announced Gears of War 6 and shadow drops the Chad move by Xbox. I don't know if they do it. I don't know if they do something big like that. Isn't a handheld downgrade compared to a current gen? That's what I've been saying, PL. This is why I said I don't think they're doing a handheld personally. I said, to me personally, is that they're not making a handheld. They're teaming up with someone that's making a handheld for them. Or they're working with someone to do a handheld. Why would Towerborn Insider build come to an end a week before the Xbox show? Why would the Towerborn Insider build come end of the week before Xbox show? What is I don't know what you're saying there, Paul. Is there something else that came out that says that Towerborn, they're done, finished with it or whatnot? So you're saying is that the one that's coming out? Is that what you're saying? Shadow Drop Fallout 3 Remaster was leaked before the Fallout hype. I mean, we talked about that they probably will have the Fallout 3 Remaster because it's 2 years behind with that FTC leak that showed up last year. Sarah Bond said there's something coming this holiday for hardware. Ron Slusher says just Shadow Drop Black Ops 6 exclusive to Game Pass for 6 months. Bumblepan says Gears of War has money to be made from pre-order bonuses, gold edition or whatever. They won't shadow drop something like that. I mean, they could. Paul says I've been playing it and it just stopped this week, so the game is ready. Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, is there any difference though between that and if they're doing like an alpha or beta type of thing? You know what I mean? It's not like that's the first time they. I mean, we played Multiverses for a year, and then it went and then it closed down for a year. I'm not saying that's the same thing. I'm just saying. I mean, you're absolutely right. It leads, that there could be that it's coming out and they're shadow dropping it this weekend. Will there be game demonstrations next week? I have no idea, Drummer Man. I have no idea. I'm assuming usually after they show the games, there's usually interviews and stuff that happen, at least at E3 that used to do it. And they would interview the devs and show some gameplay. I'm sure IGN or someone will be doing that type of stuff. Quintar with the 5 gifted memberships. Oh, I gotta fix that. The alert box is hiding behind me. There we go. We should move that over here. We should move that over here. Dustin says IGN will be doing the event with Power Wash Simulator. Yeah, see, I know IGN does a lot of stuff after the fact, so. Quintar, thank you very much for the gifted memberships and all the new members that are coming in because of the gifted membership. Appreciate that. A handheld will be around the power of the S plus AI tech. I don't know how. I don't know how you make a handheld in a saturation point of what the industry is, right? Between the Switch and then if the Switch 2 comes out, then you have the ROG, then you have the Steam Deck, and then there's like one more that I'm missing, if I'm not mistaken, right? Then you have the PlayStation Portal, which is not really a handheld yet. I just don't know if Xbox dives in, especially since they're not selling the Xbox Series S and X very well, right? I'm not saying they're not making a handheld. To me, it seems very doubtful because of it. With the Switch 2 coming out, will also be around the power of the S. That could also be a targeted spec for the next 5 years. Now, I heard that the S or the Switch 2 was as powerful as the PlayStation 4, not the S. Dolphin says maybe partner with the Steam Deck. That's the way I think, Dolphin. If they're maybe not even just the Steam Deck in general, just handhelds, like they're coming out and having like the Game Pass app on those things natively or something. Maybe they design the Game Pass device, log in, and play Steam and stuff and go on the go. Right, and I feel like that's more of a thing than going, hey, you know what? We're coming on the market with a handheld device. Now, again, there's insiders in there. I'm not an insider. I've never been an insider. I'm only reading the things that you guys read on the internet and whatnot. I'm never going to stand up here and say it's not going to happen. I just feel that the handheld doesn't make business sense for Microsoft to do it. You know what I mean? like as a company, like put yourself in the position of the company and go, okay, well, we're competing with Sony and Nintendo. It was the consoles, and we're not doing very good with it. Okay, we're third place. We're not selling consoles. Okay, we're making more money on the software than we are making on the hardware, and yet now we're going to get into the mobile device, where Nintendo is smashing it out of the park. Okay, PlayStation's not in there yet, but at the same time, they have their portal that supposedly they can change into a handheld device. And you're going up against the Steam Deck, you're going up against ROG, you're going up against, I don't know. If you're Microsoft and you're not selling hardware, and then all of a sudden you're going to put this out there and you think you're going to sell hardware, it seems weird to me. It would make much more sense from a business aspect if they teamed up with someone that already had a handheld. Dolphin says, I also heard new leaks that Switch 2 is a Series S level. Well, sure. If you guys all watch the same... I know who you guys watch. It says in my stats who you watch. Right? You guys all watch the same thing. You're all drinking from the same Kool-Aid. Of course you all heard the same stuff. Wouldn't Xbox handheld be a waste of money for Microsoft? I mean, Game Pass. That's what I'm saying, Water. For what their business model supposedly is, to all of a sudden make a handheld, it seems odd. It seems odd. The device won't be locked to Xbox ecosystem though. It'll just be Windows brand handheld with Xbox logo. Yeah, but why even make that? Why couldn't you just put the stuff that you're making for Game Pass and onto the other people's handhelds? Why do they make the Surface? I mean, the Surface is meant for schools and stuff like that. That's why they do it, not for gaming. That's why they make the Surface. To try to put a laptop in everyone's hands. That's why. Sorry, did you hear that 2K is looking to either close or sell Private Division? 2K? I don't think that's the right story, Travis. The Surface team can make a best-in-class handheld. If they do, people will buy it. I mean, I get they could sell hardware. My point is that they haven't been selling hardware, though. I mean, I understand companies like to spend a shit ton of money and fail at certain things. I mean, hence why, PlayStation made the PSVR 2 and the Portal, because they know people will buy it. But will the masses buy it? That's the thing. Take Two? All right. This is like a bad game of telephone. Take Two. What are they doing? Take Two. Close Private Division. Oh, Private Division. Yeah. So Take-Two reportedly planning to close or sell Private Division. Sources claim publisher told staff in April that it will no longer support indie-focused labeled Private Division. They're getting rid of their Private Division. So Take-Two is like, we don't want indie-focused publishing, so we're getting rid of it. Quintar says, I agree. Microsoft will stick with software like normal. Reasons why Microsoft does make a laptop. Yeah, I mean, Microsoft makes a laptop, sure. Right? I just don't, I don't know. Obviously, I mean, they're going to do what they're going to do. If they come out with a handheld, sure. All right, let's talk about the handheld now. What's the price point? Okay, what's the price point of the handheld? And then on top of that, is it parity? Is it parity? Right? What's the parity with the S and X now? All the games that come out, are they dropping parity completely? And if they do, then sure, make a handheld. But now if they don't, then you got to make the stuff work for the handheld as you do. So now we're going to have thousands of conversations of going, well, the game would be better, but the handheld's holding it back. Kylo says, true. On that top of them having a big partnership with Intel, Microsoft handheld, I feel like, will happen. I remember they helped some games enjoyed, such as the Outer Worlds. Price point is $2. I don't know. I just feel like they could put their money, instead of research and development for a new handheld that may or may not sell, when they've said they're not even focusing on consoles. I would say $500 depending on SSD space. That's too expensive. Too expensive. Come on, Jones. Paul, you would... Okay. So, would you pay... Right? You don't have an Xbox, let's say. Right? I think you do have an Xbox. But let's say you don't have an Xbox. Are you spending $500 on the Xbox Series X? Or are you spending $500 on the portable? $500, same specs as the S in your hand, most likely. Maybe a little bit better. It's likely one or two years out. That's crazy to me. $500 to get a portable S. I mean, I would rather play on cloud. Handheld, to be honest, PC is for when I'm at home. Microsoft will stick with the OS software and subservice and let the third party do the hardware. That's what I'm thinking, Quintar. Like everything about Microsoft is never about the hardware. Sure, they do make hardware. Sure, there's a Zune out there. There's a Windows phone out there. Those didn't sell very well, right? Xboxes didn't sell that well, and they're like, you know what? Let's dive back into another handheld device. The Xbox handheld will play all PC games, but then why not just partner with someone that already has a handheld and put your games on their devices? Right? Why spend all the research and development to make a handheld when you could just get a Steam Deck or a ROG and then just put your games on that system and just make a partnership with them? No, there's not a new device announced. The last article we read said that they might tease the Portal at the event, Jones. So now we're just spitballing and having a conversation about it. Like, think about this for a second. Like, seriously, think about this for a second. So we think that people that are not interested in Xbox that are not buying a $300 Series S or a $500 Xbox to play Game Pass, okay, we think that they're going to make a $500 to $800 handheld device that people will go out and play instead of just like I just don't see it. I just don't see it. And I'll say I'm completely wrong when they announce it. There's no way they can sell it for higher than the Switch Nintendo. An unknown factor of the market. Xbox isn't anywhere near the desire. Yeah, I just don't see them building it for that price. Well, it's because they already have all the tech ready for the next-gen Surface. ARM NPCs for all. Sure, that's fantastic. I just don't see it making a handheld. Unless they're changing their complete business model. Unless they're changing their complete business model. If their business model is no longer Game Pass and it's to sell consoles and hardware, then I can see them doing it. If they change their complete business model that they've done the last 5 years. Considering Sony gets away with selling a screen controller for $200, I can see Microsoft getting away with the Series S handheld for $400. What's going on, James Thomas? Surface is a tablet, not a true gaming device. Travis says, Kylo, but Sony is desired and Xbox isn't. I mean, that's true right there. What's going on, Cisco? What do you think about the PlayStation 5 PC ports selling PlayStation 5s? What do you think of the PlayStation 5 PC ports selling on PlayStation 5s? I don't know what you're asking, James. What do you think about the PlayStation 5 PC ports selling? Oh, you're asking, what do I think about God of War coming on not going to PC right away because they think people are going to, from PC, are going to go over to PlayStation 5s? Is that what you're asking? I think it's a bold move, Cotton, right? That little meme from Dodgeball, right? Like, I feel like Sony doesn't understand PC in general. Like, they don't understand the customers on PC, right? People on PC don't want to go from the Steam store to the Epic store, and that's on the same screen, okay? For them to think that unless we're talking about the PC players that don't own a console right now, right? There are PC guys. Who owns a PC here in chat, okay? Who owns a PC here in chat, and who owns a device, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, and a PC, okay? We are the small percentage of gamers that own a PC and a console, let alone if you own all of them, okay? Okay, I own 3 of the 4. Okay, I have a PC, I have an Xbox, I have a Switch. I do not have a PlayStation 5, okay? I missed the PlayStation 5 because I just don't need it, because I know the games are coming on the PC, okay? So where are these people, these millions of people that own a PC? They're like, you know what? I just can't wait to play God of War, or I just can't wait to play Horizon or Spider-Man. Not to say there's not people. Sure, there's people, but there's not tens of millions of people that are going to go, hey, you know what, God of War, I just need to play the next God of War. I'm gonna buy a $500 box so I can play that one game. I don't think that's a good strategy. I think it's a dumb strategy by Sony. I really do. Paul says, but the market has millions of tablets and runs Windows. So why would Microsoft waste time making one? I personally don't see Microsoft dedicating to make a dedicated handheld device. I see them teaming up with someone that already has a dedicated handheld device and put their stuff on it. That's what I'm saying, Paul. I'm not saying that they don't have a market. There's a market there. But people buy laptops and stuff for different reasons, not to play video games in the business world. Microsoft makes a shit ton of their money off the business world. If you can land best-in-class handheld, everyone would buy it, not just Xbox gamers. Sure. But that's saying if you make the best-in-class handheld, right? To then make that device and then put tens of millions and hundreds of millions of dollars in marketing to push out there to get people to buy the thing so they can get Game Pass, to me seems very strange. Again, if they've changed their business model from Game Pass, then I'll agree with you. Travis says PC gamers are lazy, is what 30 just said. If you won't go from an app to another, you shouldn't be gaming at all. The PC gamers are very hardcore and stubborn. They like what they like. They don't need to play the next latest, greatest game. They'll play a game that's 16 years old. I got a PC and a PlayStation 5. I bought the PlayStation 5 just so I can play with my uncle, and when he wants to play games, he never turns it on. Kyla says, I got all the 4 technical PlayStation 5 is my girl's, but it's in my house, so it counts. PC players are not even close to being lazy like console players. I bought all the Sony games on Steam and never once wanted to buy a PlayStation 5 for them. I just don't see people that are PC gamers going out and going, oh, I gotta get that $500 box so I can play the next game. They'll be like, no, I'll wait 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Ron says Series X is the most powerful console on the market. How's that working out for Microsoft? Stubborn, another word for stupid. Why would stubborn be for stupid? Series X is the most powerful console. I read that one. William Long says, why should Sony need to change their PC strat? The old one gets consolers, shifters, and the hardcore will just continue to wait. I think Sony needs to change and adapt with times, meaning day and date for their stuff, William. If they don't change their way, I mean, obviously they are changing their way, hence why they're putting, you know, I love a conversation that people said they would never do day and date, and now they're doing day and date for live service games. Everyone's like, well, they said live service, where people said they would never go day and date, and now they did go day and date for live service games, okay? I like how they said they would never go day and date on PlayStation Plus, but then they did go day and date with PlayStation Plus, okay? So to say that they're not going to go, and I'm not saying you, but to say that Sony will never go day and date with their first-party titles, I think this is their last hurrah. They're going, no, we're sticking strong to it because we think we think PC gamers are going to come over and buy the consoles. That's going to be a really hard sell for them, right? Because those people would rather spend their money on something else than a $500 plastic box to get one game. They'll just wait for that game because now they know that those games are coming to PC down the road. Just like that you don't go to theaters anymore because you know that movie theater that a movie's going to the theater, it's going to come to a streaming service down the road, right? You'll just wait. Most people won't go to the theater anymore because they know it's coming to a streaming service in 10 weeks, in 6 months, or whatever it is. So there's no reason to go to the theater because we know it's coming home. So there's no reason as a PC player to buy a thing unless you really need to play and buy that game day and date. Right? Which means that you would buy a console. Why go day and date? They lose nothing, but staying as they are. They lose a lot. What are you talking about? Do you understand that if they go day and date, the people that are on PC that want to play the latest, greatest game, they just have to spend $50, $60, $70, whatever the game is, and then they can play it that day, right? If PC players don't own a console, then they'll wait. And what happens when they wait is like 2 years now down the road when God of War 3 or Spider-Man 3 comes onto a PlayStation, or I'm sorry, a PC, there's another game that's already come out on PC. There's other things that are now away from time because that's no longer new to them. They're like, oh, well, I waited 2 years, so I can wait 3. I can wait 4. It doesn't matter. Right? Games thrive in the first month, 2 months. Right? We had a conversation yesterday about like what Rockstar does. Right? Grand Theft Auto is different than what PlayStation's doing because they don't own a console. That's just software. Okay? PlayStation's whole business model is selling hardware and software, and people are not buying consoles. These are facts. Less people are buying consoles each and every single life cycle, right? Yeah, they have 60 million people buying Sony PlayStation, but they're slowing down. More people don't want to buy a $500 box because they know it's coming out down the road for another platform. If it's PC, if it's coming on their PlayStation Plus down the road, okay, whatever it is, they can get it down the road later. The problem also is that PC gamers moving over to the single game does not help also. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're not going to move over for one game. Consoles work by locking the player in for years and 30% sales tax. Quintar says PC players have a plan to build and console players just buy a box. Kylo says build a PC. It's your baby. Nothing is more satisfying when your creation came to life and you own 2 hands. Let's see here. Ron says Nintendo just quietly watches Sony and Xbox and PC from the sidelines with a smile. Yeah, because Nintendo just sells software, right? Even though their turnaround for their, what do they have, 130 million, 140 million Switches out there, okay, in 7 years. And get what top 10 games that they've sold, each one has 35 to 40 million sales off of just the software. Right? There's 64 million people playing Mario Kart 8. Sony and Microsoft would die for those numbers for their first-party titles. Would die. If they make their sales on console, PC is just the icing, not the cake. But the problem is, look, the difference between what Sony's doing and what Xbox is doing. Xbox is all in on Game Pass. They don't care about console sales. PlayStation cares about console sales. Sony will never be a Nintendo. You know why? Because their first-party titles are not that attractive compared to the kiddos that buy Nintendo. Because Nintendo's age range is from birth to death. Okay? From when you're born, you hand a Nintendo. When you die, you turn it in. The age range for Nintendo, okay? The top-selling game of all time for a PlayStation is like 12th on the list, on Nintendo's list, okay? The shittiest titles on Nintendo sell 25 to 33 million copies. Sony's never there. One, they're never going to get the sales like they had before, and they're never going to have that first-party titles like Nintendo has, because Nintendo makes games first. Right? So if they want to make more sales, and they're stalling out on people buying consoles, then they would have to go to PC to make the sales. Now, if they're happy with the sales that they have, then you're right, they don't need to go to PC. So then just stay on course, stay what you're doing. But if they were happy with sales on PC on the PlayStation, then why would they go live service? Why would they put day and date of live service games on PC? Right? Look at what Helldivers did. PlayStation's making a killing on Helldivers, and 65% of the people that are playing Helldivers are on PC. Okay? So you're telling me if they did day and date with the first-party titles, they wouldn't make more money. They would make less money, is what you're saying. They would rather wait for that one sale of the $500 for a console for that person to come over. So you think Helldivers would be better off if it wasn't on PC day and date? Why would they spend so much money to make a real good porting company for PC? Right. What's their corporate their company's Eclipse. I forget the company that makes great ports. Yeah, Mario Kart 8. Like if you go to top selling Nintendo. Let's see. Yeah, this is just from, when is this article? This article is from Monday, 20th of May. Okay. Mario Kart on the Switch. Okay, as of March 2024, 61.97 million. Okay. Animal Crossing, 45.36. Smash Brothers, 34.22. Zelda, 31. Super Mario Odyssey, 27. Pokemon Sword and Shield, which was a broken game, 26. Okay. Violet, 24. Mario Party 8, 20 mil. Okay. Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, 20. And do you think these games cost $200 million to make? They don't. They don't. Right? Mario Deluxe, 17.45 million. Ring Fit Adventure sold 15 million. Right? Nintendo games don't cost 200 million, 250, 300 million dollars. What's wrong, Argus? This is why I always say Nintendo is crazy Uncle Nintendo. They do what they want, right? Everyone goes left, they go right, right? Everyone makes a brand new high-powered system, graphics, the most powerful system in the world, and they're like, we're making the Wii, right? Everyone goes and makes the highest, next powerful console, like, we're making the Switch. They don't give a shit. They know exactly who they are and who their clientele is, right? Microsoft doesn't know who their clientele is. They have no idea their identity. They're like, maybe this will work. Maybe this will stick. Sony is like, well, we're in between. We know who our clientele is. We know people like the console. We know people that like the console will buy the other peripherals. They'll buy the PlayStation VR 2. They'll buy the Portal, okay? But they're running out of people, okay? The 60 million people that bought a PlayStation 2 didn't buy a PSVR 2, didn't buy the Portal. Only a couple million people bought those things, okay? So where are they going, right? If PlayStation and Sony didn't see the writing on the wall, why would they make their PSVR 2 now work compatible with PC games? Right? If PlayStation didn't see the writing on the wall, why would they even port their games to PC? Oh, I know. It's because they want to make money. Ring Fit 2 Adventures outsold Spider-Man 2. As of right now, Ron, yeah. Just going to forget about the Wii U. The crazy part is, Kylo, they can forget about the Wii U. Right? They made so much money off the Wii that they could literally fuck up a whole generation of a console and not even bat an eye. Switch 2 price, $499 too much? I think so. I think so, Paul, personally. I think they go back and sell for the exact same price the Switch is selling for right now. Was that $399? Is it $299 or $399? I forget what the Switch when it came out. How many, let me see. bookmark this page. We're always on it. Let's see, the Wii U, okay, the Wii U sold, as shitty as it did, 13.56 million copies, okay, which is creeping up, okay, which is creeping up. Well, it's not creeping up. It's not being sold anymore. Okay, there's a big gap between the Wii U and the Quest 2. Quest 2, 20 million units. That's actually pretty impressive. Xbox Series X and S, okay, is 21 million right now. Right? The GameCube didn't sell very well. That's 21 million. But let's look at the other ones. Let's look at the Nintendo 3DS, the handheld that they sold. 75.94 million. Game Boy Advanced, 81.51 million. Okay? Game Boy and Game Boy Color, 118.69. Nintendo Switch, 141. Nintendo DS, 154. Okay? What did Dreamcast sell? Sega... Let's see. Is it even on here? Oh, Dreamcast right here. 9.13. Less than the Sega Saturn. And the Sega Saturn sucked. And the Dreamcast was awesome. OLED Switch is $350. Yeah, I think if they come out and just sell it for the exact same price as whatever the Switch is selling now, I think they make an absolute killing. And you know what? It would be smart of Nintendo to do that because they're going to sell 60 million copies of the next Mario Kart game. They're going to sell 35 million copies of the next Mario game, right? It sold more than Dreamcast. Yeah. Yeah. Pirating killed the Dreamcast? I think if the Dreamcast came out today, BB, I think it would have a completely different thing. The reason that Dreamcast failed is not really because of the pirating. Is that we watched the video last year sometime. They undercut it everything to try to get into the market and to compete in the market. And they literally destroyed themselves. And it wasn't because of pirating. It was because they undercutted themselves to try to compete with Sony. Those are probably less gamers when Dreamcast launched. Sure, but the Dreamcast back in 1998, if we take other consoles around that time, 1996, the Nintendo 64 sold 32.93 million. Okay. PlayStation 1994 was 102. PlayStation, let's see. Yeah, PlayStation 4 was 102 million in 94. Nintendo was 32.93. Yeah, EA didn't want to support them. That's why they went head-to-head with the NFL 2K Sports. And they undercut them to try to get it so they could cut the legs out of Madden. And then EA didn't like that, so that's why they paid for the complete license agreement for the NFL. I stalled my Dreamcast as well. Since the Wii U didn't sell well, the games are going up in price a lot. And some of the games are really really scarce. Oh yeah, well the secondhand market right now for video games is insane. Insane. The secondhand market for video games right now. Remember when I was looking for the the Transformers Fall of Cybertron, and they were selling it for $148 or $180. Like, what the hell? Okay, so even that, at that time, Dreamcast sold poorly? I wouldn't say it sold poorly. I mean, again, let me see, the Dreamcast, 9 million. To put it in perspective, I'm trying to think of another. I mean, Game Gear sold 10 million in 1990. Master System sold in 86, 10 to 13. I mean, at that time, it was the lowest selling system comparable to the other systems. So yeah, sure. It sold poorly. It was third place back then, right? It was third place back then. But comparable, right? If you look at the Nintendo 64, which came out in 1996, right? And that sold 32 million. PlayStation came out in 94, which was 2 years before the N64, and that sold 102. Okay? Did Nintendo all of a sudden, like, did they fold up and go, oh, well, we lost out? No. They didn't. They had no other systems. Just the N64. They didn't have handhelds coming out then. Handhelds didn't start coming out till after that. They sold 70 million less than the PlayStation. $70 million. We didn't have articles back then saying 4-to-1 ratio. But now you have talks of, well, the PlayStation 5 is a 3-to-1, 4-to-1. They outsold this, they outsold that. All your retro consoles got stolen? Those bastards. Sega saved Nvidia by giving them the lead of 5 million. I wonder if they can ask it back now. Nvidia's worth trillions. Maybe. You know who's not on this list? Well, actually, it is the bottom. Atari. Atari 2600 was one of the best-selling consoles of all time back in the day, and it's not even on this list. Oh, it is. 30 million. 30 million. Think about this now. The Atari 2600, okay, 1977, sold 30 million units. 30 million units. Okay, 1977. Okay, the Xbox only sold 24 million. Nintendo GameCube sold 21 million. Xbox Series S and S, as it stands right now, has sold 21 million. The Quest sold 20 million. The Wii U sold 13. PlayStation Vita sold 10 to 15. Master System sold 10 to 13. Okay? Sega Saturn, 9.9. Dreamcast, right? All of these systems that are in your head that you're like, man, these are the greatest consoles. Super NES Classic Edition, 5 million. Change the landscape, right? Well, that's the 2017 edition. Right? What did Nintendo? Where's the Nintendo 1980? That's 2017. Where is... That's ColecoVision, 2 million. Do they not have the regular... Why do they have 2017 here? Where's the regular Nintendo? There's GameCube. There's the 64. Oh, right here. Right here. Well, that's 1990. That's not even it either. Here it is. 83. 61 million. That's crazy. 1977. 30 million gamers. A lot of fucking gamers. And then it doubled from 77 to 83. Nintendo, 61.91 million. And then the Sega Genesis, only 30 million. 2-to-1 ratio, bro. 2-to-1 ratio. Oh, yeah. 77, those were all adults, for sure. How many copies of Atari ET sold? I'm not sure. Let's see. It said games sold over 2.6 million copies by the end of 1982. But it says that 669,000 copies were later returned in 1983. That's crazy. I think E.T., Superman 64, those two games go down in like the infamous as one of the worst games ever created, right? So you have the Atari, you have the N64. What do we have? What goes down as one of the worst games ever in this era? I'm wondering what the Atari 2600 would cost in today's money. Well, how much did it cost? Let's see. It was $200. $200. It would be equivalent to $1,000 in 2023. Would you pay $1,000 for the Atari 2600? We still have ours. That's crazy. Cost $199 back then. All right, we got another story. We got a story about a YouTuber insider access tied to massive leaks. So we'll talk about this one in a second. If you guys like what I do this Monday through Thursday. We just have conversations about random stuff. Think about it as like going to someone's house and bullshitting with them about topics, right? Gaming topics, entertainment topics. You guys like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We know there's certain, James says, we know there's a certain demand for PlayStation brand in general, but the talk of sales on a console versus Xbox to me is tiring, and the sales in double the countries, of course, the sale is more. So this means they made $33 billion in our money, right? What do you mean they made $33 billion in our money? The problem, though, with that, Mo, with Gollum, as Sarge says King Kong and Redfall, I don't think Gollum was... Like, E.T. was known and was a popular game back then, so everyone knows about it. You think a lot of people even knew that Gollum was a game? What is that, Dolphin? I just looked at what you posted. I'm just going to read the title. IKEA will pay people $13.15 an hour to serve meatballs at its virtual store. I'm sorry, what? Big question is, who wins in a fight, Gollum or E.T.? Ron Slusher says, what happened to Xbox Connect? What do you mean, what happened to it? In Roadblocks. Oh, do you mean what happened to the Kinect where they wanted to track you and watch you? You know, you have the device in your pocket now. It's called a cell phone. Should they remake E.T.? I mean, they could make an E.T. game. I don't know why you would, but definitely don't make it like it was. But you could make it like a platformer. You could make it like a platformer. You could bring the character back and make him sort of like a Sonic character. You know what I mean? Like just make it a platformer where he jumps from different things. Remember a lot of the NES games back in the day were just side scrollers. No, the movie. No, don't ever touch the movie. Don't ever touch the movie. The movie never needs to be remade. Don't ever touch the movie. The movie does not need to be remade. All you have to do is go find the movie and watch the movie. You don't need to remake a movie. ET phone home for only $9.99 microtransaction. Yeah, you gotta get the Reese's Pieces, and that's gonna cost you $1.20. Only in this version, you fall down a hole, and to get out of the hole, you got to pay $2 microtransaction to get out. Ron Slusher says, E.T. remake extraction shooter. Yeah, they're not making E.T. remake, are they? They better wait till I don't think Steven Spielberg would let it happen. I don't think Steven Spielberg would let it happen until he dies, and then his estate would sell it off or something. E.T. Fortnite skin to start. Wasn't J.J. Abrams' Super 8 film was almost like the E.T. remake film? Sort of. Sure. Well, J.J. Abrams can't come up with anything original anyway, so. All right, let's go to this next story. You guys like what I do here? I do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We do uploads, live streams, podcasts, and we do this live show Monday through Thursday. All right, so YouTuber Insider access tied to massive leaks. Leaks around the PlayStation and Nintendo have sparked concerns about Google employee access to not yet published videos. Okay, The leaked lineup for last week's PlayStation State of Play surfaced shortly after the event was scheduled on YouTube, and this was added to concerns over the kind of access Google employees have their videos before they go live, an issue highlighted in recent reports from Insider Gaming Tom Henderson and 404 Media. One incident, as noted by Henderson, occurred in 2022 when KSI attempted to give away over $1,000 in Amazon gift cards. However, KSI later realized that all the gift card codes had been redeemed before the video was posted, sparking the internal investigation at YouTube, and the company reportedly started a similar investigation after the trailer of GTA 6 leaked, but it's not clear whether it was related. That's pretty crazy. I didn't know about the KSI thing. He had $10,000 Amazon gift cards, and they were already redeemed before he gave them away. That's some shady ass shit there. So all this ties into what seems to be an ongoing problem at Google. On Monday, 404 Media published reports based on Google's internal database records. It found that Google contractor was behind the 2017 Nintendo leak that offered early look at Yoshi's Crafted World. Okay. At the time, the user on Reddit shared an image of a trailer just before the reveal of E3, and the image contained admin.youtube.com URL, and the address bar suggested that the employee accessed the private version of the video. Now, Google confirmed that the employee accessed the information in a database entirely viewed by 404 Media, and Google employee deliberately leaked private Nintendo information in the attire said. Former TVC, temporary vendor contractor, downloaded video with the admin account and shared unreleased video features with friends. The entry also reportedly said the incident was non-intentional. In a statement to Verge, Google spokesperson Matt Bryant says that every flagged report by 404 Media was reviewed and resolved at the time. However, the company didn't elaborate on what it does to prevent employees from accessing leaked content early. So this is very interesting. So obviously, people are always looking for clout. Okay, people are always looking for those views. Hit that like button, hit that follow button, follow me on Instagram, all the other stuff that happens. So there's people with inside the company that are leaking stuff for whatever reasons, right? Just to be an asshole, to ruin. And what they don't actually realize is that when there's actual leaks, right? Because we always say that there's no such thing as a leak. There are actual leaks, but majority of the part is leaked on purpose, right? When you see a video, content creators, it costs less money to pay someone to leak something than it is to do a full-fledged advertisement deal in this day and age with social media. But what people don't realize, okay, here, I'll put in a description or example of this, right? You ever been to a theme park or a business operation and you have a kid with you and the kid starts putting his hands on the wall or starts yanking on something on the wall or yanking on a chain? You're like, hey, get off of that. Get off the rocks. Don't walk on the bushes. Someone put a lot of money into making the landscape look nice. Someone put a lot of money in making the walls painted or make the things there, right? Don't climb on the rocks because it damages the rocks because they're not actual rocks. They're made, right? All of these things, the exact same thing is when someone works hard to do something. If it's a video game, if it's a movie, if it's all this stuff, there was millions of dollars spent in making these things, okay? Doesn't matter if it's a garden that someone put in front of their house or if it's a movie that's supposed to come out or a video game that's supposed to come out. And then some asshole, okay? I don't want to be discriminatory, or some bitch, okay, puts out a leak out because they're like, oh, this is funny. I get clout, I get thing. And then they leak something and it ruins it. And it destroys the company that put millions of dollars behind that, right? That's wrong. That should be criminal acts, right? And that should also be, dealt with individually of the way they do this. It shouldn't just be a slap on the wrist of, oh, well, I didn't know. They know exactly what they're doing. They know exactly why they're doing it. Okay. So when stuff like this happens, I think it's all a bunch of bullshit, right? If you're a person, you intentionally try to leak something, you're doing it for clout. And you know that you're doing it for clout because the ramifications of it for you leaking something ahead of time in your head outweighs the bad or never going to do it. It's almost like that warning when you watch a video. It says that you can't repurpose this. There's a $500,000 fine. People don't actually think that's real until they actually do it, and then they actually get caught down the road. They're like, what about me? I'm about the first person to do it. Yeah, but you're the idiot that got caught doing it, right? So this has always been a problem. I think it's funny that it comes out at this point years later, like this investigation and stuff that goes on. But you should have saw something was up when KSI had the 10,000 Amazon gift cards and all of a sudden they were all redeemed before he gave them out, meaning something's up there. Now, obviously, that's a separate entity compared to what the Nintendo stuff was. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think that leaks are done on purpose? Do you think it's done like this? And, you know, there's people on the inside doing this because of clout? Let me know in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe. If you like what I do here, please make sure you check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. So how are all those Rockstar leaks going? Well, they got sued, Sarge. The people that did that, they got sued. I saw an autistic kid try to grab a peacock walking around at the zoo. Did the parents say anything? Did they do anything? I hate when we're at a theme park and my kid starts yanking on something. I'm like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, well, it's here. I'm like, that's property that you're destroying, right? I don't want my kid to be that person. I could tell you stories for days, Dolphin, on how many people come to our farm and do stuff that their parents just stare at them. Oh, this is so cute. Look at that. Yeah, for leak stuff, right? For leak stuff, there's definitely certain leaks that get out that are paid for. Okay, again, how easy is it? Like, if I had to go to an advertiser and be like, marketing campaign, be like, hey, I would like to advertise this game, and they're like, well, it's going to cost you $50,000, it's going to cost you $2 million, it's going to cost you $30 million, whatever. Or they do a tweet and they sources say blah blah blah, and then there you go, it gets leaked out in the world, and then all of a sudden millions of eyeballs, word of mouth gets out, and that's much more effective than actually doing an advertisement, because a lot of people don't watch commercials anymore. This is why we need to go back to E3 live shows. I miss E3, man. I miss E3 live shows. I miss all that stuff. B says, 30, are you going to call the stripper today? And after 10 years, this is the final shape. Nah, she's still out of shape for me. I'm not going back to Destiny. No, last week or 2 weeks ago? Last week, we watched, I watched Skillup's preview that he talked about. And the footage looked good, and then he started talking, and then I was like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I might go back to Destiny 1 someday, because I can go play that from the beginning to end. Right? I might go back and play with my son. I didn't even click on what's his name? Fife's complete story of Destiny. I honestly don't care. Check out the game in general chat. All right, give me a second. Undisputed official trailer. I'm not gonna put the music. We're just gonna watch. We're just gonna watch it. So it's like, what was that game we used to play, Sarge? Ring Out? No, God, I forget that one game. King of the Ring? King of the Ring? Is that what it was? Where all the white guys had afros? Like everybody had an afro? Ring King, that's it. Yeah. Let me show you. We've come a long way from this. We've come a really long way from this. Look how big the ring is. Why did they make the ring so big? Now, there's been plenty of boxing games, Sarge, over the years. Nobody cares. I'm not sure if Ring King was before Mike Tyson or after. Let me see. That came out in 1985. Yeah, and this came out in 1987. Yeah. Punch-Out came out in 87. When does Destiny's launch time happen for the final shape? Uh-oh. Some of the reviews are starting to come in for the Acolyte. This is from the Rolling Stones. The Acolyte, this Star Wars prequel series, isn't a force to be reckoned with. Even a veteran Jedi Master would lose his patience with the latest Disney Plus addition to the canon, with the focus on a pair of twins, revenge, and... That's not good. It's also not good because they took it down after. They took it down. Rolling Stones took their review offline. Oh, that's a cool shot. I don't know how I feel about this. I'm gonna watch this because I love movie. I used to work in the movies. Those of you that don't know, okay, this is actually a really cool shot. So Will Smith is wearing a rig on himself. Okay, he's got a red camera on his front. Got this rig on the front of him, and he's got counterbalances on the back of him. So these weights, so it moves because the camera's going to move out forward. Okay, so this is actually a pretty cool shot. Watch this. Okay, so that's a cool shot. What I don't know if I like it or not is, let's see what the shot actually looks like. Now, that would be cool for a first-person game. I'll be honest. Right? So it shoots out, and when it's way out there, that's what the counterbalance weights on the back of him are for. So these weights back here is the exact same weight of the camera when it's at its full point. That's a cool shot. That's a cool shot. I like cool shots like that. What I don't like is that you're literally getting rid of the camera guy, right? Now, I like artistic shots, so I'm cool. But I hate that the actor is actually wearing that. It's pretty cool, though. I really do like that. Because the way the union works and stuff, and I'm not sure how he would get paid. Does he get paid as a camera guy now and the actor and all the other stuff? Yeah, it's for the new Bad Boys, Dolphin. Because that's how unions work, man. Be interesting to see. There's a lot of talk going around, even though we've been talking about it for fucking over years since COVID. People are starting to talk about how theaters are done, how do you get people back into theaters and whatnot. And so there's a lot of talks. Red Letter Media had a video yesterday talking about how movie theaters are dead and maybe how to bring it back and how movies are not doing very good. Furiosa's out and Garfield's out, and Garfield beat Furiosa. And if pulled number 2, I think, this week, and Furiosa went down to number 3. It's the lowest figures for box office during Memorial Day weekend ever in like 40 years, 50 years. So it's crazy that nobody's going. Here's the problem, right? Here's the problem with movies. One, okay, they don't make movies anymore for, like, we don't see romantic comedies. We don't see comedies anymore. We don't see any of that stuff. All we see now is the blockbuster Marvel type of films, okay? That's it. Kids don't give a shit about films. They don't. A lot of kids don't even care about the movies anymore, okay? They have TikTok and YouTube and all the other stuff to watch. And then the parents are like, I don't really feel like going out there because you're paying $35 for popcorn and a drink, okay? So, and you're only watching these blockbuster films because they feel the only way you're coming out of your house is to go watch those blockbuster movies. So how are you going to get back into the theater, right? I know it's crazy. Okay. And I've said this in the past. You got to make the time span between the things longer. You can't have the movie come out on Friday and then all of a sudden 2 weeks later it's on a streaming service. You can't do that. It's just like day and date on video games, right? Anytime I show a game on Xbox, everyone's like, is that on Game Pass? Because nobody wants to go buy a game anymore. They just rather get it on Game Pass. Nobody wants to go to the theaters anymore because of all the other stuff that's in theaters. But nobody wants to go to theaters anymore because they know that movie is coming out on their home within a couple of days, a couple of weeks. Okay? Even theater subscriptions don't look good to me. I mean, you could literally go see a movie right now. I think with the AMC program, 3 movies a week. I think it's like something like $3 a film. They're hoping you buy concessions, right? You have to put it in theaters and then not release it anytime soon. Have to. You can't, if you want theaters to survive. If they don't want theaters to survive, then by all means, keep doing what you're doing. People go back to theaters when you make a movie worth watching in theater. Even then, though, Sarge, they're releasing it too early. Right? Sure, you're absolutely correct. Make a good film. Make those romantic comedies. Make those fucking comedies. Make those adventure films. Make the action flicks. Right? Make the blockbuster movies. Make the independent films. But you also can't put them on the streaming service 10 days after it comes out in theaters. Yeah, half of going to the movie is your wife or your girlfriend wanting to see a dumb film on the date. You have to make movies that people want to go see. And not everyone wants to go see a blockbuster, shove it in your face. People want to go see, like, dramas. They want to go see horror flicks. They want to go see, but the best part is, it has to be a good fucking movie. Like, with writing and dialogue. And people that want to, like, lose themselves for a bit. right? I saw If in theaters this past weekend, right? Imaginary Friends with Ryan Reynolds. Okay, not a great movie. Okay, but it is not a great movie as far as like oh, it's gonna be mind blowing or whatever. It's a good movie. The acting in the movie was good, right? The little girl, I forget her name, fantastic actress. Okay, she did a fantastic job. It's a touching film. Okay, my son wanted to go watch it, so I was like, all right, cool. I had no idea what If was. Okay, I didn't even know it stood for Imaginary Friends. Nothing. I showed up, and my son's like, we're watching If. I'm like, all right, whatever it is. So I love movies. Right? Good film. Good film. Right? You got to make those movies. We saw another movie last year called Jules, right? Which is about an alien that lands in a town, and these old people find it, and it's living with Ben Kingsley. Okay? Independent movie. I think it opened up in like 400 theaters. Good acting. Good story. My couch is comfy. My TV is big. My bathroom is mine. My kitchen is full of snacks. I like it at my house, and I don't want there. Why would I go to theater? You don't have to go to theaters. Just know that your entertainment will go to shit. Just letting you know. Right? Your entertainment will go to shit because they're not going to spend money on the products, and they're going to have shittier writers, and they're going to have shittier productions, and then you're going to watch shitty movies in your bathroom or with your bathroom on your big screen TV with your snacks. You're going to watch shittier products because nobody is going to spend money to go to theaters. That's exactly what happens. Did you know AMC is owned by China now? Name doesn't match up anymore. AMC is owned by China? I didn't know that. Only reason I went was a family member. I had zero interest in Top Gun Maverick. The only reason I went was a family member. The writing of the movies was decent. Acting saved it. Yeah, I have a theater experience in my living room. I get the movie Blu-ray 4K. It's just like being in the theater for me anyway. Sure. Until it's not, because the absolute quality is going to go down to the shitter. That's exactly right. That's exactly right, Water. Right? Enjoy your shitty Acolyte. Is blaming the fans? No, I'm not blaming the fans. What I'm saying is, okay, they have to make better movies. They're not making movies that people want to watch. They're making blockbuster films that no one gives a shit about. And people are not going to theaters. Why are they going to go to theaters? Why am I going to spend $19 for a shitty film? Okay. They decided this, bro. They were trying to circumvent the theaters and make all the profit. And this is not working. The actors are not getting their paychecks amounts. Yeah, actors not getting paid. The actual people that used to work in the theaters, we're not getting our pay. Right? People that are actually paying for their hard-earned money to watch these things are not getting their value because the writers that they can't hire because the good writers are gone because they don't want to pay them. So they get shitty writers and they get shitty people that make shitty movies. Is it actually that bad? Is what actually that bad? The Acolyte? I don't know. I'm not watching it. Oh, absolutely, Sarge. Also, they can make a better buck, which is fucking stupid because they literally killed their DVD sales. The way it used to work, and they would make all the money, is they would put it in theaters, but they didn't want to give that piece of the pie to the theaters. And then they brought it on DVDs. Okay? And then that's gone. Here's a perfect example. I don't know if you guys ever saw this.
cycling through the movies and thinking to themselves, they're not making movies for me anymore. As somebody who's been intimately involved in movie making for 30 years, what are the macro Hollywood conditions behind that sentiment?
Well, so what happened was the DVD was a huge part of our business, of our revenue stream. And technology has just made that obsolete. And so the movies that we used to make, you could afford to not make all of your money when it played in the theater because you knew you had the DVD coming behind the release. And 6 months later, you'd get all, a whole nother chunk. It would be like reopening the movie almost. And when that went away, that changed the type of movies that we could make. I did this movie Behind the Candelabra, and I talked to a studio executive who explained it was a $25 million movie. I would have to put that much into print and advertising.
That's another thing. The budgeting of movies, okay? The budgeting of movies has gone skyrocket, right? The next Mission Impossible movie is $400 million. They probably ever won't make their money back. Even if it makes $1.5 billion, it probably won't make its money back, okay?
Advertising, right, to market it, who we call P&A. So I'd have to put that in P&A. So now I'm in $50 million. I have to split everything I get with the exhibitor, right, the people who own the movie theaters. So I would have to make $100 million before I got into profit. And the idea of making $100 million on a story about like this love affair between these two people, yeah, I love everyone in the movie, but that's suddenly a massive gamble in a way that it wasn't in the 1990s when they were making all those kind of movies, the kind of movies that I loved and the kind of movies that were my bread and butter.
It certainly makes sense.
Right? So the problem is there's a lot of different things that is the issue with the films, right? They wanted to make all the money, right? And they would make that money back on the DVD sales, but they're not making that money back on DVD sales anymore because they're not even doing DVD sales anymore. It just goes straight to video, right? It just goes straight to a service. Okay, no one's buying the game. No one's buying the movies anymore because you don't own the fucking movies anymore. No one's buying DVDs anymore, right? And when you watch it on the streaming service, you're watching it at a shittier quality, mind you, right? When you watch it through Netflix, or you watch it through Disney Plus, or you watch it through Paramount Plus, or you watch it through Amazon Plus, whatever the hell fucking pluses you're watching it at a shittier quality than you would if you owned it on DVD or Blu-ray, or if you saw it in theaters. Because it's not true high definition, it's not true 4K. So Star Wars Hunters looks like a really good game. It's a mobile game, isn't it? It's on the Switch, and it's a mobile game. Sorry, do you think they should do an Elder Scrolls series next? Like a video? Like a TV series? I don't know. That'd be super expensive to make. I got a video here. Got a video from Hogwarts Legacy. Hold on one second. Let me...
Hi everyone, I'm Chandler Wood, Community Manager here at Avalanche Software, and it is good to be back again speaking with our community. I'm here to walk you through everything in the free summer 2024 update for Hogwarts Legacy. Our headlining feature, Photo Mode, is now available in Hogwarts Legacy. Be your own Andrew Corum and capture screenshots of your favorite characters, moments, and locations with a huge variety of tools to customize your shot, including basic camera features like my two favorite fields, Depth of Field and Field of View. You can adjust exposure and contrast, tilt the camera, zoom in and out, and apply a variety of filters and frames. There are filters for
Gryffindors and Hufflepuffs and Ravenclaws and Slytherins and filters for those who love Sebastian and Poppy and Natty and Amit. You can make your shot look like the Deathly Hallows mission and apply frames of fog and flue flames and parchment and add the game's logo or house crest.
Now, what if you want a serene view, but Seb is getting in the way while moping about the fact that he can't cure Anne? Well, you can hide NPCs, or even your own character, so they don't ruin the perfect shot. It's like photo mode's own little invisibility cloak. Got the perfect angle of a hippogriff soaring above the water, but wish it was sunset? You won't need a time turner to change the time of day, and you can even blanket the ground with snow by adjusting the season. Note that changing the season and time of day are only available in photo mode, and any changes will revert once you exit. It's like a pensive memory. Nothing you do inside photo mode will change the game outside photo mode. And with custom poses in photo mode, your character can finally sit. You did ask us to put sitting in the game.
It's a lot
We've all done
for
it.
photo
Spent
mode.
talent points on something we didn't mean to. Why did I invest in Avada Kedavra Mastery? I'm a good person, right?
Avada Kedavra!
With the summer 2024 update,
There's a
you can
respec?
reset your talent points right from the field guide. Either completely respec your build to experiment with different ways of playing, or manually undo those.
Why does it cost money? Why does it cost money? I know it's not real money, but why does it cost money?
Individual points you spent on talents that just don't fit into your playstyle. Stealth, am I right? It'll cost you 200 gold per talent point, however, so be mindful when determining what you want to excel in. Want to have your very own shop in Hogsmeade? Well, it's gonna take a little more than just galleons to acquire this spooky storefront. The previously exclusive Haunted Hogsmeade shop quest and its associated rewards, including the shop itself and a dapper shopkeeper's outfit to go with it, are now available on all platforms. To start the quest, look for Penny the House Elf sweeping outside the shop in Hogsmeade shortly after.
We gotta go back and play this.
You did your waiting, a year and a half of it! As a thank you to all of our players for your support and patience, the brand new, or is it old, Azkaban coat and Azkaban prisoner's outfit are free for everyone. Just log into the game to cosplay as someone escaped from possibly the most horrifying place in the entire wizarding world.
Yeah, but at that point, Eclipse, if everyone has 100,000 gold, what's the point of spending the... You see what I'm saying? If someone's played this long and they have it and they've beat the game, and it's like, why do you need to spend 200 gold?
We're also finally releasing the taped up spectacles we showed off in our Easter egg video. Sorry about the mix up. Apparently those have been locked away in a closet under the stairs until now. But that's not all. We're also giving everyone the previously exclusive Onyx Hippogriff mount and Felix Felicis potion recipe. And one other new thing.
What does that potion recipe do?
Onyx Hippogriff mount and Felix.
Enhance the drinker's chance to success in endeavors, specifically revealing the locations of large loot chests on a mini-map for one in-game day. Okay, that would have been great a year and a half ago. Would have been great a year and a half ago.
Felix Felicis potion recipe. And one other new thing. You won't need to head over to Spintwitch's Sporting Needs to get the new lavender...
Oh, that's the thing that PlayStation players had. Got it.
Borealis broom, but maybe go visit Albie Weeks anyway. He seems lonely. And that's your Hogwarts Legacy Summer 2024 update. Available June 6th on PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, PC, and Nintendo Switch. Head back to Hogwarts and start capturing. Share all of your amazing in-game photography with us on social media using the hashtag #CaptureTheUnwritten. You can find us at the Avalanche channels at AvalancheWB on Twitter and Instagram, find me at Finch Strife, or share with the official Hogwarts Legacy channels. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.
There you go. Fantastic game. I turned it on to see if they did the update for it last week. It's still amazing looking. Absolutely amazing looking. Uh-oh. Watch out. They just announced the Year 5 division. Year 5 Season 3 snapshot. Reanimated was the most played global event. 80 million items looted. Oh, this is telling you what people did. 7 million Paradise Lost wins. 700,000 items extracted in the Dark Zone. People still play the Dark Zone? I'm impressed. Most used weapon. I don't think I got that weapon yet. Well, I thought it was like what they announced for the next season. Yeah, nothing. I thought it was next season stuff. I guess we'll wait till next week whenever they announce that. They're bragging they're not dead. Oh, they're not dead. Oof. They said it was close to the Book of Boba Fett. In other words, this is for the Acolyte. I'll read it to you. It says, in other words, it feels like the narrative dead end. It doesn't automatically preclude a good series. The fact that one learns anything here could be that the whole tragic point of the story headline company are telling. It's good to see another Star Wars project that, like Andor, of some fascinating fundamental assumptions, entertainment-wise, though the first half of The Acolyte is unfortunately a lot closer to the Book of Boba Fett. Oof. That's not good. Okay. They went in thinking it could be as good as Andor, but it's more like Boba Fett, which is one of the better series. It's actually like the worst. I don't know. Obi-Wan was pretty bad. Obi-Wan was pretty bad. Oh, wait, IGN. Let me see if they have anything. Da, 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 da. Here's their verdict. Non-spoiler verdict. Okay. This is IGN's non-spoiler. This is their verdict of it. Setting the story in a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away allows the Acolyte to feel fresh and different from other recent live-action Star Wars series, with the intriguing storyline that seems to be setting the stage for the return of the Sith that we know is coming. However, outside the existing Jedi fight scenes, execution sometimes feels off, with frequent cheesy moments that lack the visual flair that contributes the ongoing concern that all these Star Wars streaming services have diminished the epic nature of the franchise, and that makes it special. Take on its own terms, The Acolyte does offer some enjoyable character dynamics and enticing mysteries, but it's our first 4 episodes fail to coalesce into something that truly shines. But looks, it does have a Wookiee, a Jedi, and that's all it is a plus. There you go. All right, so later this week, tonight, let's see. Tonight is we'll probably do the weekly stuff in Fallout 76. It's Tuesday. We might play another game, but as of right now, we'll do what's it called? We'll probably play a different game. Fallout First has been ported to an old school Nintendo system. Let me put that inside our submitted stories. If you guys want to submit stories, everyone can join our Discord, by the way. Submitted stories are open for everybody. Also, general chat is there for everybody. If you want to go more than that, you can become a member as little as $5. It opens up. And once you're a member, you're always a member in our Discord. Someone put Fallout 1 on the 3DS handheld. That's pretty cool. Book a female that pushed more. The Bath of Boba. He's got to ride the Bantha. Oh, that was such a bad series, man. Just you putting Boba there, just thinking. Such a bad series. Boba Fett was so bad. Yeah, nothing else is no other news. I'm sure as soon as I log off, it'll be more news. Boba Fett. That chase scene. Oh my god. I don't know what's worse, the chase scene of Princess Leia in Obi-Wan or the chase scene with the Vespas in Boba Fett. Look, here's the perfect thing that I'm talking about, right? Now, I'm not saying... We talked about handhelds earlier. Okay. So officially, the MSI Claw 8 AI Plus has an Asus matching, okay, battery Intel Lunar Lake. Okay, they came out with a Fallout version of this, and this is what I'm talking about, right? Like, as our talk earlier about handhelds, I can't imagine Microsoft making their own handheld when they can just make money off of other people's handhelds. I don't know. I don't know. It just seems silly to me. Like, why? Why would you invest research and development to make your own handheld when you can just use other people's handhelds and make money off of each of those? El Tente says, I'm going to be honest. I can't remember anything from that show. That's how bad they are. Oh, you can. You just suppressed it. You've just literally just shoved it down so far that you can't remember it anymore. One night you'll be drinking. You'll be like, God, it'll come rushing back to you, and then you'll be crying. You go through denial. Everything will be bad. It'll be bad, Al Dente. It'll all come rushing back. Like, what the hell? God damn you, Boba Fett! You've ruined it for me. The clip says, I just can't believe when we first meet Boba Fett, Darth Vader was talking about how he burnt people alive, and then we get that show. Yeah. Yeah, I in my review, that scene where he meets the other boss, henchman, or whatever, around that table, should have murdered every single one of them. That would have been a badass show. That would have been a badass show. Instead, you get absolute garbage. On this day in 2013, Marvel Heroes launched. There you go. You got Pal World. Pal World on the Asus ROG. Bulletstorm VR. I'm not making you depressed. I just tell, just speaking the clips, okay? Is he a Mando? Is who a Mando? Oh, you're talking about Boba Fett? No, Boba Fett's not a Mandalorian. He's a clone. But apparently anybody can be a Mandalorian now. So so Did you never see the prequel movies, Jones? Boba Fett was a clone that was asked not to be altered in any way, shape, or form. So he didn't age rapidly. He's basically Jango Fett. Boba Fett is Jango Fett, right? He made him his son, which is kind of weird because he made himself his son. So Boba Fett was one of the clones. I thought he wasn't, but Sarge's comment confused me. What did Sarge say? Not once during the entire show did he act like a Mandalorian. Well, he's not a Mandalorian. But he didn't act like Boba Fett. I don't believe, and I could be wrong. Was Jango? Now, hold on a second. Jango Fett was a renowned Mandalorian bounty hunter assassin. So Jango was a Mandalorian. So technically, Boba Fett, I guess, would be a Mandalorian, but he was a clone. He would act exactly like Jango. Jango was a Mandalorian. Yeah, you're right, Sarge. But it says here he's a human from Concord. He wasn't a Mandalorian. He adopted it by the Mandalorian warriors following the murder of his parents. A generic clone. Yeah, so because Boba Fett became a Mandalorian, but he wasn't a Mandalorian. What the fuck are you guys talking about? What do you... I mean, Boba Fett was just a clone. You're not in Crazy Town. The warriors of the clones are all clones of... genetically of a Mandalorian. I mean, let's be real. The Mandalorian show should have been on Boba Fett. Yeah. Regardless. No, I understand that, Sarge. What I was about to say, regardless, Boba Fett, which we know as leading up to the Boba Fett series, Boba Fett was not only genetically from Jango, right, because he's a clone, he should fight just as good as all the clones. The clones are all basically Mandalorians because they're all the generics of Jango Fett, right? But then he was trained by Cad Bane as one of the most vicious bounty hunters in the galaxy. And when we see Boba Fett in the show, he's like a fucking kitty cat. There was like one moment of shining moment when he was fighting the stormtroopers and he destroyed them and was fighting them. The one shining moment. Other than that, all of a sudden he became like this passive monk. He's like, I just want to be the leader of this gang, but I don't want to kill anybody. Like, what? Like, it was terrible. The clones were all military trained from the Caminos. Yeah, but they were all genetically a Mando. They all had the fighting skill in them. All the clones are literally Mandalorians. They're not officially Mandalorians, but they're cloned from a Mandalorian killer. Hence why they wanted to use his DNA. So what I'm hearing is Boba's no Mando. He is a clone of his father, Jango. Yeah. Yeah, and he was a kid when he was... So he never got training like his father. He became a badass bounty hunter because he ran with the hardest bounty hunters. So why did they go down so quick? Who? The clone troopers? Well, they don't really go down super quick. They're taken out like 10-1. They have awful aim. I think you're being confused, House. Are you being confused with stormtroopers? You're talking about stormtroopers? You're talking about the clone troopers. Stormtroopers are not clones. Oh, absolutely. No, they're all fighting. That's why they built the fighting squad off of his DNA. Stormtroopers are supposed to be clones? No, they're not. House, you literally just exposed yourself for not knowing anything about Star Wars in one sentence. In one sentence. Yeah, stormtroopers are not clone troopers. And that one sentence you just exposed, you have no idea why the clones are not the stormtroopers, and you know nothing. So I'm not going to continue this conversation. Oh, they're all the same? They are not. The clone troopers are clones of Jango Fett. Stormtroopers are actual regular people that got the jobs after the Empire literally killed their own warriors because they didn't want them, right? They had a kill switch in their heads. And the only clones that survive are the ones that took the chips out of their heads. Stormtroopers are not clones in any way, shape, or form. They're all the same height and build. The clones are. The stormtroopers are not. The Mandalorians are like the Predators in the Star Wars universe. All they know is war. Well, they were created to fight the war, and then they also had a kill switch in their head to kill them. That's why Luke stood out. House. The reason he stood out is, I don't know if you, are you in the military? Have you seen other military like China and stuff? They literally have the same people, and they only bring in certain people that are a certain height and certain strength, and they weed everyone else out, right? That's basically what the Empire did with their stormtroopers. A certain type of person becomes a stormtrooper and whatnot. Okay. Luke stood out because he was short, and that's why she makes the comment of, you're a little short to be a stormtrooper. Okay. Not because they're all clones. Okay. The clones got out. One, they had a growth hormone in them that makes them age rapidly. Okay. Two, they murdered the rest of the clones because they didn't want the clones to rebel against the rebellion. Okay, they didn't want the clones to go against the Empire. The chip in their head also not only has an Order 66 thing, but they also have where the chip itself inside their head could kill the clones because the Emperor didn't trust anybody and basically have control of fear and be the most powerful person, and didn't want anyone else that could kill him to be able to kill him. Okay. The clones are not the Empire. The only part of it is at the end of the prequels, okay, when they make the Galactic Empire, yes, those clones turn into stormtroopers at that point. But the stormtroopers after that are not the stormtroopers. The stormtroopers that you see in episodes 4, 5, and 6 are not clones. Yeah, Google is your friend, right? There's some great shows. If you watch the Clone Wars, if you care, if you don't care, right? There's the Clone Wars. There's Rebels. There's the Bad Batch. Okay, I'm in season 2. I haven't watched all the seasons yet. Okay, there's Bad Batch. Okay, there's plenty of things to tell you and explain the stories to you, if you care. Then that's the video format stuff. Then there's actually books and stuff that you could read. Or you could just Google. I couldn't handle Omega. I'm only in season 2. I think I know, but I don't know if I know. Well, if you've seen Rebels, then you saw Rex. No, I know the female Adente. I'm just saying I know of her. I just don't know if I know who she is. I think I know who she is. Obviously, she's a clone. So... Did you watch all of Rebels? Or have you seen some episodes of Rebels? If you've seen all of Rebels, then you would know, because they have some clone troopers that come back in that show. All right, based on that, I'm taking off for the rest of the day. I'll be back tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to go hang out with my son. Yeah, Rebels is great. Clone Wars is great. I didn't watch the other one. What's that other one? That other cartoon? It was weird looking. It takes place after Return of the Jedi, in between that and the new sequel. Let me know how it is. We're not going to be playing Destiny anytime soon. We'll be back tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. We'll probably play some Fallout 76. We might play some other game, but most likely Fallout 76, do the weeklies and whatnot. Talk bullshit. And then tomorrow night, we'll probably play some more Star Wars Battlefront 2 with Sarge, or we'll play something else. We're shooting the shit with Sarge tomorrow. And then Thursday, we have the podcast, Thursday evening, Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories in the past week, and we rant along the way. Friday, we're going to be watching Summer Game Fest. Saturday, we'll be watching some more Summer Game Fest. And Sunday, we'll be doing the Xbox channel as well, or the event as well. So we're here live every single day of this week. And then we'll be back next Monday as well to do more news stories. Appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your afternoon. Please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.